Hello everyone, this is Pandana B. This semester I am going to handle design of pre-stressed concrete element, that is 17 CV 82. Let's check with the syllabus. Here in the syllabus we have course objective. This course will enable student to learn design of pre-stressed concrete element, and it consists of 5 different modules. Module 1 include introduction and analysis of members. It consists of a type of pre-stressing, advantages, disadvantages, anchoring device, high strength concrete, high strength steel, stress strain curve, then load balancing concept, pressure line. These things are there in module 1. Like that, in module 2 it's about losses in pre-stress. Loss occurs due to friction, anchorage, slip, creep of concrete, shrinkage of concrete, and relaxation of steel, and total losses will be there. We can calculate crack width, total deflection, limitations of span to depth ratio we can calculate. In module 3, design of section for flexure can be calculated. Module 4, design for shear. Module 5, composite sections. These are the 5 different type of modules we have. Then comes the course outcome. Here we have 5 different outcomes. You can see here. This is what the student will come to know after this, after studying this subject. So let me start with the introduction. Till now you have studied about design of reinforced cement concrete, that is RCC, and design of steel structure. But in this semester we are going to study about the analysis and design of pre-stressed concrete members. Usually this PSC is similar to RCC because it consists of concrete and steel bars, but the placement of this steel bars in PSC is different compared to RCC. And the one more thing is, we know that the concrete is very strong in taking compression load and weak in taking tensile load. Due to this, in order to increase the tensile strength of the concrete, what we do is we just try to we will introduce steel bar in the tensile zone, correct? You know that compression zone is in the top, tensile zone is in the bottom. We try to introduce the steel bars in the tensile zone to enhance the strength of the concrete members. But along with this, we have a disadvantage in RCC when it is subjected to some external load. For example, on this RCC, if any external load is applied, what will happen is it tries to bend, that member try to deflect, member try to bend, and there will be a crack on the surface. Micro cracks will be present on the surface of the concrete member. This leads to percolation of moisture content and water. What will happen this when these moisture content enter into the member and these steel bars are exposed to the atmosphere, it will corrode. So this lead to failure of the member. In order to avoid these problem in RCC, or to overcome these problems, PSC has few methods that gives strength to the concrete, and failure of the member is very less in PSC or pre-stressed concrete. Okay. Next is about the history and development of pre-stress of PSC. Here you can see we have two figures. Before that, who introduced this PSC? Let me explain about that. The concept of pre-stress concrete appeared in 1888 when P.H. Jackson was granted the first patent in United States for pre-stressed concrete design. Jackson was the first person to get the patent for pre-stressed concrete design. For example, if we take a basic example from our day-to-day life, we can see a wooden barrel here. What you can see is the concept of pre-stressing was invented year ago when metal bars are wounded around the wooden pieces to form a barrel. You can see this thin line. These are the metal bands that is pre-stressed to hold this wooden barrel. Okay. So, these metal bands were tightened under tensile strength. This is wheel. You can see that a bicycle wheel. In this wheel, whatever you can see, this portion is nothing but the spokes. These spokes are pre-stressed and it will be tied to the rim. This portion is called rim. These spokes are pre-stressed, or in other word it is stretched, and it is tied to the rim so that it won't get deflected. It should be in a proper shape. That is the basic concept of PSC. Next, let's see the definition of pre-stressing. Definition of pre-stressing is generally, first I will read out the statement. Internal stresses are induced in member to counteract the external stresses which are developed due to external loads or service load. What that statement says is, we will introduce initial pre-stress, that is internal stresses to counteract the external stresses. Like the external stresses will be like deflection, shear force, cracks, external cracks. So, to overcome this, we will give a internal stress to the member. You can see here, this is this first diagram is about RCC, reinforced concrete member. See, in RCC, when external load, these are the external load, when external load is applied, this member try to sag. This yellow color line is nothing but sagging. That member try to sag itself, or it try to deflect downwards, and you can see a cracks here. There may be a crack on the surface when the member is under external load and it is undergoing deflection. We can see the cracks there. So, this is about RCC, but when we come to PSC, what we do is, before any external load is applied, there is no external load is here. So, before the application of the load, how the nature will be in PSC is, it is a hogging kind. We would have pre-stressed already, and if we cut that tendons, this try to hog this whatever member is there inside, it tries to, yellow color one, it tries to hog. Why? Because during pre-stressing, we would have pulled the ends and we would have stretched it. But when we cut the ends, it will tries to compress at this point. So, because of that, it is trying to hug. So, this is PSC concept. But see here, when this pre-stressed member is under external load. You can see there is no changes in the member, because what is the concept is there this due to external load it tries to member tries to sag, but as this pre-stressed member is trying to hog, this will counteract with hogging will counteract with the sagging, and the member will be in the normal condition. There will be no changes in that. So this PSC is pre-stressed members are like better than RCC members. So the next slide is about, see how these pre-stressed members are made. Initially we have the whatever red color you can see, this is nothing but a tendons. This will be stretched by using jacks. Here we have a jack, afterwards you will come to know what are those things. First you understand the basic concept. So the basic concept is these tendons will be stretched at both the ends. Okay, concrete won't be poured, it will be stretched and it will be held. Okay, it will be held here. But the second step is after pre-stressing, for this mold we will pour, this is nothing but dotted line is nothing but a beam mold. So we will pour a concrete is poured. The first step is pre-stressing the tendon, second step is pouring the concrete. The third step is after pouring concrete and all, we will just cut this tendon. Earlier it was connected here, now you can see it is cut at the both the ends, it is cut. So when the tendons are cut on both the ends, this tendon will try to hog. There is no external load here, just a basic concept how the nature of the tendon will be. So it will be hogging in nature. So this is what I was talking. Like when you understand this concept, now I can go for this slide. See here, I have like when I spoke about this slide, I said external load is applied on the member. External load is, for example, here we have taken it's a concrete beam. Here we have you can see a huge or heavy loaded vehicle is going, or lorry is going. So when it moves on a concrete beam, what will be the next condition? It will tries to, this member tries to deflect, it tries to sag, and we can clearly see there is a crack developed inside the member, and externally also we can see the cracks because of the heavy vehicle. But when you come to this pre-stressed members or concept, when we have a tendons here or pre-stressed member here, it will holds the concrete together, and there will be no sagging or deflection. It will be in its position. So even crack won't be there. So this concept is better than the RCC concept. This is what I wanted to explain by showing this diagram. So let's go to this differences of pre-stressed concrete over reinforced concrete. See here, first I will read out. In pre-stressed concrete member, steel plays active role. The stress in steel prevails whether external load is there or not. But in RCC, steel plays a passive role. The stress in steel in RCC members depends upon the external load, that is no external load, no stress in steel. What they have explained is, see, in PSC I had already told that first itself, in the first stage itself, we will just pre-stress this member, or we are inducing a stress, giving an internal stress to this member. Before any external load is applied, we will just pre-stress it, pre-stress the tendons there. So without any external load, there will be a internal stress in PSC. But when you come to RCC, the concept is you have a reinforcement in the tensile zone and all, but until and unless any external load is applied on the member, that member will be in neutral condition. There won't be any stress inside, nothing will happen in that inside that member, it will be in normal condition. So that is what they are trying to say. In PSC already internal stress will be there irrespective of loads. Load is there, load is not there, it doesn't matter, stresses will be there. But in RCC, stress will be there only when we apply external load. When there is no external load, there won't be any stresses in RCC members. The next one is, in pre-stress concrete, the stresses in steel is almost constant, whereas in RCC, the stress in steel is variable with lever arm. First of all, what is the thing is, the lever arm means it's a center to center distance between compressive reinforcement and tensile reinforcement. So we will talk about RCC first. In RCC, if we change this lever arm distance, I said lever arm is nothing but it's a center to center distance between compressive reinforcement and tension reinforcement. If we change this distance of the stress in the steel also changes. Stress in steel will vary. So that is what they are telling. RCC, the stress in steel is variable with respect to lever arm. But as we have already placed the tendons inside the member, there won't be any change in stress. Already how much ever stress we have induced, that much stress will be there. So that stress is constant, that won't change with respect to the lever arm in pre-stressed members. The next one is, pre-stressed concrete has more shear resistance, whereas the shear resistance of RCC is less. Correct? The resistance to shear force is more in PSC compared to than RCC. The next one is about the deflection. In pre-stressed concrete members, deflections are less. As you know, there will be no sagging and all, so the deflection is very less, and the resistance to fatigue is also more in pre-stressed members. The fatigue in the sense the repeated load kind. So that is the resistance to that is more in pre-stressed concrete. Then let's talk about the dimensions. In pre-stressed concrete, dimensions are less because external stress are counterbalanced by the internal stresses induced by pre-stress. Here, has internal stress counteract for external stress, and as deflection is less, we can reduce the dimension of pre-stress element. That is what they are trying to say, and I have few more points to add on this. The few more points is like pre-stressed concrete can eliminate the weakness of concrete in tension. Such members will be free from cracks and it have a more resistance to impact, shock or reversal of stresses. That is one point. The next one is PSE is pre-stressed members are stiffer under working load, and it is when we use a high strength concrete high strength concrete material, the member itself will be lighter and it is slender in the sense thickness is less when compared to RCC, and we can rely on this pre-stress member. It can give a long term performance in any extreme conditions, it won't allow the material to get destroyed. It has a more resistance to deteriorations chemical attack, fire and accidental damage and all. It has a more resistance. That is one thing, and has the this is used on the flyovers for electric poles and all. Has the load acting on this members is very less, or small loads will be smaller load is applied, so the dimension of the member can also be reduced. Because of this we can save the money when we are going for a foundation or supporting members. We can reduce the size of these things and it is economical. In long span bridge, pre-stress members is economical than RCC. This is very good for long span bridges, but it is not economical for small span bridges. That is one thing. The next thing is about terminologies. Terminology under that, the first one is tendon. You have seen that this part is nothing but tendon. So, a stretched element used in a concrete member of structure to impart pre-stress to the concrete. Initially this one is a first figure. Here what we have done is this dotted line is nothing but the tendons. When we just pre-stress this tendon, it get elongated or it get stretched. That is what we have indicated by delta. The next one is anchorage. A device generally used to enable the tendon to impart and maintain pre-stress in concrete. These devices will be at the ends of the tendons. So, these devices are used for pre-stressing and all. The third point is pre-tensioning. What is the difference between pre-tensioning and post-tensioning is, see, first I will read out this. Pre-tensioning is nothing but a method of pre-stressing concrete in which tendons are tensioned before the concrete is placed. In this method, concrete is introduced by bond between steel and concrete. Post-tensioning, a method of pre-stressing concrete by tensioning the tendons against hardened concrete. In this method, pre-stress is imparted to concrete by bearing. Generally, what is pre-stressing is, I have already explained, before pouring the concrete, these tendons will be or cables will be pre-stressed, then concrete will be poured into the mold. This will develop a good bond between concrete and the steel. This is about pre-stressing. But in post-tensioning, what we will do is, concrete will be poured, but wherever we want to induce this cable or tendons, we will just make a duct inside it, then we will place this tendons and then it is pre-stressed. So, this is a concept of post-tensioning. Post-tensioning means pre-stressing won't be done prior to the prior to the concrete, but here concrete will be poured, then only we will make some duct, we will make some space for this tendons, then we will pre-stress it. So, this is about pre-tensioning, post-tensioning, anchorage and tendons.